an ASMR video like forever and a day ago. We're gonna call this series Music Monday. I don't know if it'll be a series yet. Maybe it'll just be a one-time thing, but you guys let me know what you think. So basically what we're gonna do is go and talk through different genres of music. We'll give you like a basic definition and example of some bands. I want to stress that this is obviously not all-encompassing. There are like millions and millions and millions of music genres and subgenres and whatever, but we just picked like 5 or 6 different ones that we'll go through today.
Yes, as Lisa mentioned, not all-encompassing, as well as every band doesn't just fall into a single genre. They can experiment with another genre, or just consider 5 things at once with what they usually do. So if we pick a band that says falls into this, but they also fall into that, that's not our fault.
Yeah, don't come after us. Yeah. Like, we're just here to have a good time.
We're here to have a good time and discuss music.
My brother Ken is definitely like a musician too. Just gonna give him a little shout out. Plays a bunch of different instruments, a lot, like self-taught. So I feel like it was really fun just coming up with like the different lists. And he's like, yo, we have to include this genre. And yeah, I just think it'll be a lot of fun.
Nice. So please enjoy, and feel free to list some of your favorite bands in any of the genres that we mentioned, as well as, I guess if you really want to, you could say what else they classify as to help, start a discussion.
Yes.
Or just give us a band that you like. Doesn't matter if it's in a genre that we mentioned today.
Yeah.
Please feel free to talk about your favorite music and give some recommendations, because I'm always looking for new bands or groups or single artists to listen to.
Alright, so we are going to start with alternative
music and alternative bands. Now, excuse me while I pull up the definition for alternative. Now, alternative is classified as a category of rock music that emerged from the independent music underground of the 1970s and became wildly popular in the 90s. If you wish to read the last sentence there.
Alternative refers to the genre's distinction from mainstream or commercial rock or pop music.
Furthermore, it lists some of its parent genres, which are rock, which we will talk about, heavy metal, which we will talk about, and punk, spoiler, which we will talk about, and new wave. So let's talk about some alternative bands. Now this is the part that we were talking about where we are going to mention some bands. I look up alternative bands and I see some here that would fall into other categories, so please keep that in mind. So alternative rock bands. We'll just go down the list and start saying some names.
I'm gonna say one that I like. I'm gonna start with Red Hot Chili Peppers. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Can't stop addicted to the shindig.
Yes. Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm more leaning towards Snow. I really do like the song Snow. Radiohead. you? What are you trying to say?
No, I don't know if it's a theme, but I thought like whenever I hear
Like a
that
theme
song, yeah, whenever I hear that song, I think of that series.
Alright.
Maybe.
I never saw it myself, so I'll have to take your word for it. But yes, you might have Creep as his theme song.
Maybe, or maybe it played one time in the series. I don't know. It is what it is.
But Creep is a song by Radiohead.
Yes.
As well as my personal favorite of theirs would be Paranoid Android.
Paranoid.
Android.
Paranoid.
Android. Moving on a little further with the list, we have.
Oh, so many choices.
Yes, I know. And some of these fall, like, just bleed into so many different genres, which is a beautiful thing about music.
I'm going to say I'm gonna go with Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters. Bing, 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 bing.
Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters. I think I speak for both of us when our first song of Foo Fighters was Everlong.
Everlong, yeah, from like Rock Band.
Yeah, Rock Band 2. We played a lot of Rock Band 2 back when that first came out, and we got Everlong on that set list. Everlong.
Everlong.
Yes. Off of their Color and the Shape. Color and the Shape album, which I believe was 1997. I think, or 99. But it's a good album.
I'll take your word for it.
Yes. I think that's the first one I listened to. And with that, I think we'll move on to our next musical genre.
Yep, let's move on to the next. If I can unlock this giant. Okay, here we go. Next we have P. Q. Whoa, I'm like way too close to you guys. Sorry about that. We're just not even gonna write it on there because my setup is all different and it's just awkward. But the next genre is punk. Punk. Punk.
I'll let you read the definition of punk.
The definition we have for punk is a loud, fast-moving, and aggressive form of rock music popular in the late 1970s and early 1980s.
Now, with the punk bands.
Loud, fast-moving, aggressive. I like that.
Aggressive punk tinkles. Finger drumming, tapping.
It's literally been non-stop sirens ever since we've started.
I know that punk has an anti-authority feel to it, but that doesn't mean the cops should get called on us for talking about the music.
Yeah, this is too much.
Moving on to the bands. Punk bands.
Punk band.
The first punk band that I see here on this list is Green Day.
Green Day. Green Day. Green Day.
Now, I'm going to be honest, my knowledge of Green Day is quite limiting. I know they have an album called Dookie.
I feel like if I heard a lot of their songs, I'd be able to sing along, but they aren't typically what I like would listen to. So it's not like I'd just be like, oh yeah, let me look up.
Let me look up this Green Day song.
Yeah.
Neither can I, though I hear like 5 songs of theirs right
like
now, but I
my
can't
one.
put the name to it.
Yeah.
Except for American Idiot, because that's very easy to remember. But I forgot the other 4 that are very famous. just like Green Day, I cannot give you a title off the top of my head, but I do believe our niece listens to Black Day.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes.
Black Flag.
And I'll pass this off to you. Feel free to list off any more punk.
Another punk band is Rise Against. Rise
Against. I think a song of Rise Against that I know is called Give It All. I believe. I apologize if it's not. Please list your favorite Rise Against song if that was not one of them.
And the other punk band that I'm going to call out from this list is Blink. 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 182. 182.
Do you know any Blink-182 songs?
I'm sure I do, but I can't think of any right now that I'm being put on the spot. It's a lot of pressure.
I believe they made that song, What's My Age Again?
Oh,
I think that's Blink-182.
really, guys, don't come at us. Like, don't come after us for our lack of knowledge right now. It's difficult being put on the spot like this.
Even when you pre-plan, it's difficult to be put on the spot. We did. Oh, before we continue, one band on here that I do like is The Offspring.
The
Spring. My favorite song of theirs would be Keep Them Separated.
Keep them separated.
Keep them separated. Now on to our next and probably last music genre for this video.
Let's talk a little bit about metal.
Metal. Heavy metal. The term metal is believed to have come from the hippie movement, when heavy meant deep or serious. Heavy music revolves around a few key components. Heavily distorted guitar riffs and chords, powerful drumming, extra low bass notes, and aggressive or throaty vocals. Vocals. For you eagle-eyed viewers or the ones who haven't fallen asleep yet, you may notice that the jacket that I'm wearing says System of a Down. System of a Down is, I believe, the first metal band I was exposed to. And I know the first song that I heard from them. It was the one that everyone knows, that everyone loves. It's Chop Suey of their Toxicity album. Now, let's talk about some heavy metal bands. As mentioned before, System of a Down is one of them. Though if you want to be really particular, if you want to be really particular, you could say they're new metal, but metal nevertheless. And some metal bands include the legendary Black Sabbath. Sabbath. also listens to Dream Theater, my favorite album is either Awake, the Awake album, or Metropolis Part 2. Scenes from a Memory. Another metal band is Dio. Holy Diver is my go-to song for Dio, probably their most famous one. For Ronnie James Dio. And our last band for metal will be, drumroll please, Tool. Tool was introduced to me from a very good friend of mine. He showed me their, I forgot what it's called off the top of my head. Their second, Anima, I think that's how it's pronounced. Anima. Yes, I believe that's what it's called. My personal favorite album of theirs would be Lateralus. And with that, we're done.
We had a list of like really close to 8 different genres, but it has been an experience trying to record this.
Yes, a lot of time and a lot of it being interrupted by our friendly neighborhood sirens. But please, there's so much stuff there. Tell us, or I guess tell Lisa, what you would want her to list off if she were to keep going with this, as well as some of your favorite bands.
But